Let the phones off, please.
Y'all got enough seats? And y'all can start the next round? You can come back. Go over there. Y'all got room over there? Okay, but I got something there. Start filling out the row where Verna is. Go in that chair. Go in that chair. Where Verna is, right here.
Are you getting ideas for yours?
Yeah.
Are there two in this room? Are there two? Are there two? No. Joel, good to see you.
Gish, I haven't seen you since yesterday.
Please do.
Don't let him. Don't let him rap. He can be mean now. Miriam. 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 Hi, Miriam. You can forward for this robe down there. Is that your robe? I want to have
All right. Welcome to the induction of the Honorable Judge Sabrina Kraus into the Civil Court of the City of New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for our national anthem, which will be sung by 12-year-old Kylie Seaman, hailing from beautiful Palisades, New York.
on your chest.
Here we go.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the pale
Kylie, you nailed it. We'll see you at the next Super Bowl. Right? And thank you for not holding free on for like 10 minutes like some people run a schedule here. Good evening, and welcome to one of the great events of all time. The long awaited induction of Sabrina Kraus as the judge of the civil. Sabrina's Persian American family and friends, let me extend this special greeting in my very best Farsi. Shalchei echos amadid. My name is Matthew Cooper, and it's an honor to be the Master of Ceremonies for someone who has been my good friend and valued colleague for more than a decade. I first met Sabrina back when she was an attorney practicing landlord-tenant law. I was a civil court judge then, and Sabrina had a case in front of me involving a building on East 33rd Street, where most of the tenants were rug merchants who had been there for years. New York real estate being what it is, the landlord was seeking to empty the building so he could renovate it and rent to what might be considered more upscale businesses. What struck me was how Sabrina did such a good job representing her client, the landlord, while at the same time being so fair and understanding towards the tenants, whose lives as small business owners were going to be forever changed with the loss of their space. In fact, I still remember one of the merchants, who was kind of the de facto tenant leader, saying to me after the tenants had agreed to move out without a trial, that they were doing this not as a concession to the landlord, whom they all disliked and distrusted, but out of respect for Sabrina, who had treated them as real people and not as mere litigants. This ability to see the human dimension of every situation and to treat people with respect and compassion is one of Sabrina's qualities that made her so successful as a housing court judge, and it is something that will serve her well in this next chapter of her judicial career. And it's just one of the many qualities that you will hear about this evening from our star-studded lineup of speakers. Sabrina, before we go any further, I want to make sure you appreciate just how amazing an experience an induction can be for the inductee. When else do you get to sit there and hear speech after speech about how wonderful you are? Well, maybe years from now at your retirement dinner, but let's face it, you'll be so upset at the prospect of giving up your beloved judicial parking plaque, I doubt you'll be able to enjoy the event one iota. For our first deliverer of accolades, we turn to someone who has attained almost a mythical place in our court system, the Honorable Fern A. Fisher, who now goes the title of the Deputy Chief Administrative Judge for New York City Courts. I imagine a lot of people here have seen the HBO series Game of Thrones. One of the most popular characters on the show, and one who has become something of a feminist icon, is Daenerys Targaryen, also known as Khaleesi, the Mother of Dragons. Well, Justice Fisher, almost 25 years, has been intimately involved in running first the housing and civil courts, and then all of the courts throughout New York City. Might well be given the honorific title of the Mother of Judges. This is because, through it all, the good times and the bad, she's been there with us and for us. And make no mistake about it, supervising a bunch of judges is a lot tougher than handling some ill-tempered, fire-breathing dragons. Fern knows Sabrina well. She's the best extemporaneous speaker I've ever heard, and it's a pleasure to have her here with us this evening.
Matt, I hope that's not the character that's having an affair with her brother that had to I don't know much about Game of Thrones, but I do know about that. That's because I knocked the mic. Can you hear me now? Okay. I see so many familiar faces, and I see some new faces, and that's what elections are all about. it's a village putting together a joint effort to get a candidate elected, and to all of you here that helped Sabrina get to this position, I thank you for making this fine housing court judge a civil court judge. You know, and I've said this often, and I have been doing inductions for 20 years as the head of civil court, and it's coming to an end. So these will be my last inductions. So these are special, and I'm so glad you made it under my watch, Sabrina. Manhattan, I have to tell you, you get it right. You think about the mosaic of New York City, and it's reflected in our judiciary. We are Jewish, we are Dominican, we are Puerto Rican, we have some Indian judges, African American, Latino, and our Persian American judge, Sabrina Kraus. I mean, how good do we do here in Manhattan? I think we do a good job. Let me also introduce you to our newest civil court judge who will be sworn in next week, the Honorable Judy Kim, who is I think you're our first Korean civil court judge, aren't you? I mean, come on, Manhattan. This is what the rest of the country should be about, correct? I want to acknowledge the county leader, the Honorable Keith Wright, who makes it happen. To the supervising judge of New York County Civil Court, Anthony Canatera. Administrative Judge of Supreme Court Civil Term, the Honorable Peter Moulton. Yes, he does. And no, I'm not going to introduce you this time. If I may get it wrong, I think I can do it, but I'm not. I don't think I have time. But I do want you all, the judiciary, to stand, turn around. These ladies and gentlemen from all parts of Manhattan, and there are some judges from other counties here as well, are what helps this justice system work, and I thank you for your service. Now, Sabrina, it took you just a little bit of time to get here, you know, but you're here. And that's what you have to savor, is that you're here, and that you are a civil court judge who's not going to civil court, but we all know that. But she'll come back one day. She'll come back one day. And I can't officially say where she's going, but it's not civil court. But her skills, no matter where she is, are going to serve her well. Sabrina is extremely smart. She has a lot of common sense, and she has a heart. Those three qualities always serve a judge well. And I know that you're going to use those qualities in your new assignment, wherever that may be. And you'll come back to Manhattan Civil Court as soon as we get you there. But you know, you have some colleagues who are dying to get back to Manhattan. And some of you in this room might be happy. But anyway, we know that Sabrina did not get here on her own. She got here because of you out here in the audience, and I just see so many familiar faces who I know have worked hard to get her here. But I'm going to turn to the box, and that's her first line of support, and that's her family. Her mother, her father, her brothers, her sister-in-laws, her nephews, nieces, her children, and her husband, Craig, who have supported her throughout the time it took her to get to civil court. But I want to just speak a little bit to Michaela, the baby, who's not a baby anymore. I thought she was just born and a young lady and so poised and was helping out giving the programs. You've got the best role model. Your mother sets the example of what it's like to be the best kind of woman you can be. And you follow your mother's footsteps. You don't have to be a judge, you don't have to be a lawyer like Dad and Mom, but you become a woman like your mom, okay? And that's what we have to do for our young women, is make sure we set good role models. Anyway, this court is still, in my opinion, one of the most important courts in the state of New York. It's where ordinary people experience the law. It's still the people's court. It will always be the people's court. You make it the people's court. And Sabrina, you belong here. You're part of the family. It's a little bit more special when one of our judges moves up. It makes the induction even more better. Or should I say bigly? No, not that. Anyway, this is going to be a good ceremony. I see this on the agenda to speak. Sabrina, I hope you have a good time at your party. I can't stay, as you know. And to all of you who are here to support her, continue to support her, because we all need support. Don't let her down. She'll need you in the future. And thank you for being supportive of the court system, because the very fact that you are here and the very fact that you may have worked on her campaign or made a donation or whatever you did to support Sabrina means you believe in justice. And if we all believe in justice, we're all the better in this country. Thank you very much.
Take out a few pages.
Thank you, Judge Fisher. Knowing that this is your last induction season makes this especially memorable for all of us judges and for the induction attending population of New York County. The understatement of the evening would be that for Sabrina, becoming a civil court judge did not come easy. She had to work at getting elected with a passion and a commitment that one seldom sees. In fact, Sabrina had to run not one, but 2 contested primaries, and thereby suffer, hopefully not forever, from a massive case of PTSD, post-primary traumatic stress disorder. Her success was due in large part to the support she received from the many political leaders who believed in her and knew she would make a superb civil court judge. We have a number of those political leaders here today. We're going to go change the program sequence a bit, because one thing I've learned, political leaders usually have to be somewhere else. So you got a great lineup here. We'll start first off with Keith L.T. Wright. No question about it, but the best voice you will hear tonight belongs to our county leader, Keith L.T. Wright. It's about as stentorian as the human voice can be. But Keith Wright resonates in so many other ways as well. He's concluding a long and productive career in the State Assembly, where he was instrumental in the adoption of a wide array of progressive legislation, including a law that changed the lives of a crucial but often neglected segment of the population, the domestic workers' Bill of Rights. He's a lawyer from a family of judges. He has long played a vital role in making the New York County judiciary as good as it is. Keith was there for Sabrina when she needed him, and we're delighted to have him here with us this evening. Assembly Member Keith Wright.
Thank you, Judge. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. We have any district leaders here in the house? Raise your hand, stand up, jump up, yeah, scream. These are the folks that actually are the engine, pivotal pieces that make New York County Democrats run. So I want to thank them, and I know Sabrina thanks them as well. I'm sure she'll be thanking them for at least another 10 years at least. So I just want to say, Sabrina, and I'll call you Sabrina until you put your hand up and put your hand on the Bible and swear that you'll become the greatest judge in the world. But Sabrina is a friend. And Sabrina is a case study in perseverance. She's a case study on reaching for the stars and keeping your feet on the ground. She's a case study in humility. She's a case study in keeping your eye on the prize. She did it the old-fashioned way. She ran in not one but 2 campaigns. And I can't tell you how many times in between trying to get there by way of our system. I have nothing but respect for Sabrina. And I think all of us in this room do. And it's a true testament that all of these people are here for you this evening. Now, Sabrina, it wasn't always a smooth road. It wasn't always, it wasn't like go from A to B very easily for Sabrina. One evening, when she was a little bit dejected, and it's easy to get dejected when you're running and you want this judgeship so bad. And I think she had just gotten out of the panel. So we met in a Harlem bar one evening. And you know, when you're running for these judgeships, you go up and down all around the borough. And I just said, Sabrina, she said, well, is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? And I said, yes, it's absolutely going to happen. And I said, you know, anytime we hear any more doubts, you just put them out of your mind. And it's going to happen not only because you're good, you're ethical, you have morals and you have principles, but you have a great, fabulous family. Now, I think, you know, co-judge Kraus should go to Judge Craig Kraus. Amen. That's the best we can do for Craig. I mean, come on, this guy. I just want to say thank you to the New York County Democrats for getting it right, and certainly the judges that we have here in New York County. They are diverse and do reflect what's going on in the city of New York. And so I just want to say congratulations to Sabrina, and this time we did, in fact, get it right. Thank you so much.
From the political world, our next speaker will be Dan Court. Dan Court serves in the New York State Assembly, representing District 78. Dan is also a lawyer and fought the good fight for many years with the Legal Aid Society. In May 2012, he was named one of City and State Magazine's 40 Under 40. For being a young, influential force in New York politics. Having done the math, I can announce he's now eligible to be named a 50 under 50. Not quite as young, but even more influential. Assembly Member Court was a great supporter of Sabrina, and it's an honor to have him here with us at this induction.
I don't have a voice like Keith Wright, so I'll try and portray it. It is wonderful to be here with Sabrina. So many years in the making to this wonderful day to celebrate a good person and someone who's going to be a wonderful judge. In Farsi, there is a word that defines strong. It's gavi, rhymes with savvy, and it means strong, but it doesn't mean strong literally. It doesn't refer to physical strength. More so, it refers to emotional strength, or, as I looked up on a website today, the ability to endure. Nothing better describes Sabrina Kraus than Gavi, the ability to endure. She has gone through more than many of my colleagues in the Assembly, City Council, Senate have put together, have gone through to get elected. 2 primaries in 5 years. In panel, out of panel, back in panel. Waiting in the wings. No one has endured more. And while she's endured, she didn't complain, or maybe once in a while to Craig behind the scenes. But she never complained about her plight. To campaign with Sabrina on the street and with Craig on the street, it's incredible. To stand there at a supermarket on 88th Street and to hear her talk to individuals, or even to people who have walked into her courtroom in the past. Some have got, well, that person got a good result, so that was a vote. But that was a great experience to see what it is to be a judicial candidate, to actually have to go to the voters and explain why a panel process matters, why an independent screening panel reporting you out multiple times matters, and why the judiciary matters. Today, she ascends to the civil court, but it's a work of many, many years in the making. a great testament to you, to Craig, to your entire family, who showed the strength and the fight to stick with it. And because of it, you'll be in the civil court. I got ahead of myself. The civil court soon enough, and on to greater things in the years ahead. I can't be more happy for you, Sabrina. You deserve it.
I have to say, the assembly member's Farsi accent was far better than mine. She must have gone to a much better Google website. When you win, life is really good. And we have previously, Sabrina had to go around getting people to support her. For this induction, we have political leaders who asked to be able to come speak. So which is one of the great things in life. So I am pleased, even though she's not on the program, to bring up Assembly Member Rebecca Seawright, who is one of the newest members of the Assembly since she was elected, she began her term in 2015, and she's from the 76th Assembly District, which is in the district, the municipal district where Sabrina was elected.
Thank you. It's a great honor to be here for Sabrina tonight. You were a fabulous housing court judge. You're going to make a fabulous civil court judge tonight. I love seeing fabulous women elected to political office and into the judicial branch. So congratulations to you.
Only been in a year in office, but has already learned that brevity. One political leader who was on the program but could not be here today because she had a conflict is Inez E. Dickens. And she was a big supporter of Sabrina's. And until December 31st, 2016, Inez will continue to serve as she has for the last 10 years as the New York City Council member from District 9. Beginning January 1st, 2017, she reports to a new workplace, this time in Albany, as the member of the New York State Assembly for the 70th District. Coincidentally, that's the same day Sabrina will start her new job. So she will not be. So Council member, Assembly-elect member Inez sent a letter to you, which I will not read, but presented you special delivery. That concludes the political wing. Now on to the people from other walks of life. The thing to remember is that although Sabrina is being inducted this evening as a civil court judge, she's already been a judge for many years, serving in what is one of the toughest courts anywhere, the New York City Housing Court. And it's great to see so many of our housing court colleagues here tonight to wish Sabrina well as she moves on to her new position. But I know Sabrina would agree that she's not moving up. She's just going from one difficult and important job to another. Unfortunately, we sometimes lose sight of the fact that every judge in the court system performs a vital role, and that one type of judgeship is no better or more important than any other. A lot of this has to do with so much of the focus in our lives as judges being on career ascendancy. Bruce Springsteen put it this way as a general proposition about people and ambition, when in the song Badlands, he sang, oh, I'll say them, he sang these words, poor man wants to be rich man wants to be king, and the king ain't satisfied till he rules everything. For all the ambitious souls in the court system, Bruce's words might be tweaked to sound something like this. Housing court wants to be civil, civil judge wants to be supreme, and supreme ain't satisfied till he's on the appellate division overruling everything. Sabrina, I guarantee you'll soon be hearing a constant chorus. So, when are you moving up? What's your plan? What's your next step? Please at least for a while, ignore those voices. Take all the time in the world to revel in being a civil court judge, or a family court judge, or a criminal court judge, wherever you're assigned, the same way you revel in being a housing court judge. To tell us about Sabrina's life in housing court, as well as about her being a good friend, we have the Honorable Ann Katz. Although her youthful looks might indicate otherwise, Judge Katz has sat on the housing bench so long that even I practiced before her. Last year, she became the supervising judge for housing court in New York County, which, if Judge Fisher was the capo di tutti, that kind of makes Ann this county's crew chief. Ann, come on up and tell us about Sabrina.
Welcome. My name is Ann Katz. I'm a housing court judge, and as you can tell, I was preempted. But, you know, so be it. Those are the people who made Sabrina the civil court judge that she's wanted to be for the longest time. So I'm glad to be here and happy to speak for her. So I met Sabrina in or about 1995. I don't know if you were all born then. And the way I met her, I was sitting on the bench in this courthouse, and my court attorney calls me and she says, please, you have to come to the courtroom. There's something you must see. So I go to the courtroom and I walk in and I'm like, you know, what's going on? I don't know what's going on. And there was this attorney. She was dressed head to toe in Kelly green. It wasn't even St. Patrick's Day. And that was my first introduction to Sabrina Kraus. Needless to say, Sabrina has always marched to her own tune, and that's why we call her friends Wildflower, because she is our wildflower. So you fast forward a number of years, and Sabrina marries one of my oldest friends, Craig. And so Sabrina became my friend-in-law. However, in no time at all, Craig was complaining that we had left him behind and we had our own friendship. It was about that time that Sabrina began to talk about having an interest in becoming a member of the judiciary. As a friend, I encouraged her to pursue her goal. As we all know, Sabrina is single-minded in her determination, first to become a housing court judge, and most recently to become elected to the civil court. I commend her tenacity and her endurance. So Sabrina became a housing court judge. But being a judge can be a lonely job. You need to have a support system to bounce ideas around, to lean on, and to blow off some steam. And so we formed a gang of 5. It was myself, Judge Doherty, Judge Hahn, Judge Jimenez, and we were the gang of 5. We had meetings where mostly we ate and drank. But Sabrina's contribution to our group is her love of fun, her good-natured spirit, and her adventurousness. Those are the things I never would have experienced if Sabrina hadn't pushed me to do certain things. I will say that she once wanted to go on a 24-hour trip to Iceland, and I said no. You remember that, Bruce, right? So our little group has been to Vegas, we've been to Memphis, we've been to Greece, Kurt Caramellas, and she's been to Ireland with the rest of our group. And although most of our trips are education-based, we always have a great time. But you know, what happens in Puerto Rico stays in Puerto Rico. And Sabrina has always included us in her family gatherings. I've watched her beautiful children grow and become who they are today. Whether it was dinners at her house or drinks at the beach, we were always included, we were always made to be felt part of the family. And we learned to appreciate good Persian cooking. And I'll never, ever forget that. Although I can't do it. It's too long and time-consuming. So this is Sabrina's latest adventure. She's moving into the civil court family. It's the housing court's loss. But as much as I'll miss her, I know that her new colleagues will learn to appreciate how smart she is, how hardworking she is, how dedicated she is, and you will really, really appreciate her. So congratulations to you, to my dear friend. I say go forth and do justice.
Before I go to the next, oh, she's good, we got it. How's this so far, okay? Living up to expectations?
You're doing great.
All right. You know, in the world of the judicial politics, as in all worlds, there are sort of friends, kind of friends, and real friends. Our next speaker is a real friend of Sabrina's. As proof, they attended both college and law school together, and they were in the same sorority. To tell us about their friendship, and this is going to be worth the price of admission alone, to show us the secret Pi Beta Phi handshake, I bring you Sabrina's friend, Judith Regner.
When the judge talked about the first time she saw Sabrina and that she was wearing Kelly green, I thought back to 1984, first time I saw Sabrina, and Sabrina was committed and dedicated, and it was the Madonna years. And Sabrina really knew how to do the Madonna thing. She had wild hair, wore standout clothes, and had an amazing, warm, wonderful smile. She was a little intimidating because she was very sophisticated. She was from New York City. But the first thing I think we shared was our love to go out dancing and have a really, really good time. We were in the same sorority, and we did various community service projects together and went to a lot of parties. We went to lots of dinners, lots of formals, and spent lots of time in basements, drinking beer out of kegs. We graduated college together, and then we traveled and had a great time in Europe on the beaches and nightclubs of Monte Carlo, and also did lots more dancing, meeting new friends, and having a wonderful time. And I was always impressed with how cultured Sabrina was, how she had a variety of interests in music, in fine art, in cultures, in world civilizations. And we had wonderful conversations, and we always met different people, and that was terrific. Sabrina then went straight to law school. I took a couple of years off, and then joined her at law school. I was the 1L, and Sabrina was the 3L, and she was a terrific mentor and model. She was diligent and hardworking, motivated, and very true to herself between her journal work and her studies. And then Sabrina went off to work. And I was also always impressed with her compassion and her time for other people. And that's when I also started to realize that Sabrina was a good person to ask advice. She had wisdom. And so my thoughts for you today are to continue being fun, compassionate, and keep developing your wisdom so that you can both seek and now dispense justice.
Actually, we're up here. June gave me the handshake. Getting to be a judge takes a lot of things. One thing it takes is a toll on family relationships. Let's face it, it's tough enough in today's world to function even as a dysfunctional family. When you add the stress of panels, political dinners, petitioning, and running a contested election, it can bring even the best family to its knees. Fortunately for Sabrina, her family is loving, devoted, and resilient, so they were with her every step of the way. It's a little-known fact, but Cooperstown, New York, is not only the home of the Baseball Hall of Fame, but it's the site of the Judicial Candidates Spouses Hall of Fame. My wife Melissa is there, so is Sally Ann Scarpulla's husband Paul, and lots of other self-sacrificing husbands and wives. But we all know that in this Judicial Candidates Spouses Hall of Fame, the equivalent of the Babe Ruth room is reserved for one man and one man alone. Ladies and gentlemen, that man is Sabrina's husband, the one and only Craig Kraus. Accompanied by sons Corey and Jason, will daughter Michaela please come up to tell us about your mom? A special step stool.
As many of you probably know, my name is Michaela, and I am Sabrina's daughter. My brothers Corey and Jason have decided I will be doing the talking on their behalf. Our mother was busy almost constantly while she ran for civil court. On any given day, weekends included, she might have been volunteering on food drives for the homeless, or standing on the street corners and handing out literature, or attending one of the local Democratic clubs. Something she spent a lot of time on especially was reaching out to voters individually. One by one, she would sit at her desk with a stack of papers about as tall as I was, which listed the names and phone numbers of every eligible voter in the district. She would then try to look up each voter online, carefully researching a given name on the list. On countless occasions, she would turn to me or one of my brothers and say something like, "Check him out, he writes limericks for the Times," or "Look at this, she teaches at Columbia." And once she'd read up on these voters, once she'd learned their stories, she would call them up herself or write them personalized letters. We would hear her on the phone saying things like, "I hear your daughter Stephanie is a doctor. You must be so proud." A big smile on her face all the while. She would think nothing of spending 30 minutes or even an hour talking to a single voter on the phone, listening to them carefully and making her case to them patiently. The sense we all got was that she enjoyed talking to the voters in her district. She cared so much for these people, and she wanted to work for them as a public servant. That was her dream, and it has been her dream for a long time. We watched her work tirelessly through as many names and as many stories as she possibly could, and rarely did she complain about it. The incredible dedication Mom demonstrated throughout the campaign to the people who elected her has made all of us so tremendously proud. And it has also left us knowing that she will be an excellent civil court judge. Perhaps most importantly, however, are the values she's been able to teach us through her hard work on the campaign trail. As many of you know, this last election was not our mom's first. Several years ago, she ran in an equally tough race and lost. There were many things she could have done when it was over. She could have stayed in housing court and continued to do the very important work she has been doing for the last 10 years. Or she could have gone back to private practice as an attorney. Despite all the alternative paths she could have chosen, she decided to stay the course. And through sheer hard work, perseverance, today she is able to fulfill her dream of sitting, finally, on the civil court bench. From our mother, we all learned an important lesson. There are going to be moments in life when things do not go according to plan. Very few people get to where they want to be without stumbling a little along the way. This is all to be expected. What defines a person's character then is how she recovers, and her capacity to keep striving toward her ambitions. Our mother kept striving toward her goal with dignity and grace, and we are so proud to be here today to see that her determination has finally paid off. She has taught us the value of hard work, and she is always an inspiration to all of us. So Mom, congratulations on your induction. We love you so much, and we know that you will continue to make us proud.
Probably put her name into next year's screening panel for Civil Court Vacancy. That was great. It is fitting indeed that Sabrina will be sworn in by her longtime friend and mentor, Justice Judith Gish. Like Sabrina, Judy was a housing court judge who went on to be a civil court judge. In Judy's case, of course, she then went on to the state Supreme Court and now sits as an Associate Justice of the Appellate Division, First Department. And like Sabrina, who I believe holds the distinction of being reported out of more independent civil court screening panels than any other human being who has ever existed or ever will exist in the world, Judith Gish, or Justice Gish, holds quite a record herself when it comes to screening panels. Only one name has been reported out twice from the most recent governor's screening panels for a vacancy on the New York State Court of Appeals. That name is Judith J. Gish. This year was finally Sabrina's year for civil court. Let's hope the same is true for Judy. She is incredibly smart and talented. She's a judge's judge in every way. And she's a person who is so nice that she goes out of her way to apologize to you after she has reversed one of your decisions. I bring you Justice Gish.
Hey, good evening. It's a great night, don't you think? And I am unbelievably honored to have the privilege here to administer the oath of office to Judge Sabrina Kraus. I'm going to tell you, Sabrina, this is the first time I'm doing this, so I'm very excited about it. I have been told by our very able Master of Ceremonies, however, that I have exactly a New York minute to speak. Yeah, I was going to say, so if you think that I'm talking too fast, you know who to blame. So like so many other people who spoke here tonight, I'm going to tell you about the many ways in which I've known Sabrina over the years. So I met Sabrina Kraus when I was a young judge, and she was an even younger attorney. In private practice, she used to appear in front of me when I was in the housing court in Kings County. Even then, it was clear that in the rough and tumble world of housing court, Sabrina carried herself with such dignity and showed such thoughtfulness about her cases and their consequences, and you heard some examples of this from other people here tonight, that you just knew that she was destined for more. And here we are. As we both continued on our professional roads, our paths crossed many times. I was unbelievably thrilled when she was first appointed to Housing Court. And I'm going to give her a point of advice at this point, which I think many of you will understand, and that I learned the most I know about judging from the years that I spent in Housing Court. And I hope you have that same experience. I was thrilled to read her thoughtful and scholarly opinions that were published frequently in the Law Journal. I also saw her step up and take a leadership position in connection with the Housing Court Judges Association, and I'll just leave it at this. It's a group with many strong opinions. And I was in contact with her when she decided some time ago that she was going to embark on the process of becoming a civil court judge. She would call me from time to time and ask me my thoughts about various aspects of the process. Sometimes she agreed with my advice, and sometimes she did not. She's very independent. This summer, during petitioning season, I was walking home from the subway, and who do I see on the corner gathering signatures? Sabrina, right? So I stopped to talk to her and asked her how it was going. And this is what she said to me in substance, and I think it's very revealing. She said, "We are really working hard." She also said to me, "I have the support of a lot of good people. You can look at yourselves for that because you were who she was referring to." And then she said something to the effect like, "I am cautiously optimistic." But I take nothing for granted. So now I realize that her response really demonstrated exactly why she's such a wonderful judge and why she will continue to serve the community so well in her new position. It showed that she is the roll your sleeves up kind of hard worker, and as we have heard here tonight, unbelievably perseverant. It showed that she appreciates the role that others play and her ability to serve the public community. It showed that she is optimistic but humble. And it showed that she does not take her remarkable success for granted. So now let's move on to what we all came here for. And I'm going to ask you, Sabrina, to stand up. Somebody has that. And somebody also, I believe, Sabrina told me that we have a family Bible. Okay? Jason's going to hold the Bible. Okay. Come together. Come on. You can be close. You are close. All right. You ready? Good. Okay, Sabrina, put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I, say your name.
I, Sabrina Kraus,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the State of New York,
and of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of
Judge of the Civil Court of the City of New York,
Judge of the Civil Court of the City of New York,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, Judge Sabrina Kraus, your newest judge of the Civil Court of the City of New York.
So, finally, right? Along the way, colleagues told me two different versions of how I would feel when I got to this point. Some colleagues told me that once you get there, you're just so bitter that it doesn't matter anymore. And other colleagues told me it's a lot like childbirth. You just forget about the pain. And I'm happy to say I'm in the latter category. The day after I lost my first contested primary election, I came to work. And Tara, my court attorney, gave me a card with the story of Abraham Lincoln's road to the White House. At 22, he failed in business. At 23, ran for state legislature and lost. At 24, he failed in a second business. At 25, he was elected to state legislature. At 29, defeated for speaker. At 31, defeated for elector. At 34, defeated for Congress. At 37, he was elected to Congress, but at 39, he lost re-election for the seat. At 46, he was defeated for Senate. At 47, defeated for Vice President. And at 49, defeated for a second time for Senate. At 51, he was elected President of the United States. I posted this tortured history of Abraham Lincoln on the wall of my chambers, where it remains until my primary win this year. The values of courage, persistence, and perseverance have rarely been better illustrated. In 2009, 3 years after I had been appointed as a housing court judge, I responded to an advertisement in the New York Law Journal and submitted my application to a Democratic screening panel as a candidate for civil court. I knew nothing about New York County politics and none of the players involved. I was not reported out of that initial panel, but the following year was reported out of 2 panels, and I bust onto the political scene kind of like a bull in a china shop. Over the next few years, it seemed every time I got a few steps closer to my goal of being elected, I suffered a setback. By 2015, I had been reported out of 7 screening panels and became unofficially known as the Susan Lucci of civil court. Well, even Susan Lucci won her Emmy eventually. I am beyond thrilled to be standing here tonight, and I am so grateful to be able to realize this dream, and I have so many of you to thank for your friendship, help, advice, and support. When this race started, there were 4 candidates in the running, and I want to thank Susan Hochberg and Len Silverman for their professionalism and integrity as candidates, and Len for his active support of my candidacy after his own had ended. I wish you both luck in your continued journeys towards the bench. I also want to congratulate my fellow newly elected civil court judges, Judy Kim, Josh Hanshaft, Asia Tingling, and Emily Morales-Minerva. I want to thank the beautiful and talented Kylie Seaman for singing tonight and opening the ceremony, and thank the entire Seaman family for being with us here tonight. June, thank you. June is one of my oldest friends. I really was very moved by your words. You've always been there for me, and I love you. Assemblyman Dan Court, thank you for being here tonight, for your kind words, and for your enthusiastic and devoted support. Last May, you called me and you asked, "Are you ready to run?" And though I answered yes, in my heart I was uncertain. I kept thinking only a crazy person would run again. But with your support, encouragement, and guidance, it was the right call. You went far beyond a paper endorsement to standing with me outside supermarkets on weekends campaigning. You were on call 24/7 to address questions and concerns, and a big part of our win. Thank you. I want to thank Council Member Inez Dickens for her endorsement and for her service on the City Council, and congratulate her on her election to the State Assembly. I would like to thank the district leaders of New York County for their hard work and service as unpaid elected officials. They are truly the unsung heroes of New York County politics. And thank you to our indomitable county leader, Keith L.T. Wright. You know, in my speech, I have thanking him for saying, "May the force be with you," but now I'm thinking he didn't actually say that tonight, did he? But it is, Keith and I had the same notes about that glass of wine we shared a few years ago in Harlem, where I was starting to doubt my ability to come, and he assured me that this day would arrive, and I just want to thank him for believing in me and for his friendship and support. I want to thank the other elected officials who endorsed me, including Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney, Congressman Jerry Nadler, New York City Comptroller Scott Stringer, State Assembly members Robert Rodriguez and Danny O'Donnell, and City Council member Daniel Horodnik. I was honored in both elections to receive strong support from the LGBT community. I want to thank my friend Alan Roscoff, I don't know if he's here, and the Jim Owls Liberal Democratic Club for having the great taste and distinction of being the only ones to endorse me in both my races. I want to thank Legal for giving me their highest rating in both races, the Stonewall Democrats for their endorsement in this race, and Mark Levine, thank you for your friendship and support. I want to thank everybody who worked with me towards being elected over the last 6 years, and first on that list is Jerry Skarnick. Jerry, where are you, Jerry? There you are. Jerry, you've been a constant and loyal friend. Thank you for taking me on as a client and never giving up on me and seeing me through 2 contested primaries. Your experience and understanding of politics in this city is unparalleled, and I am so grateful to have had you by my side. Thanks also to Arthur Craig and Mike Oliva, who worked with me on my 2011 campaign. Mike taught me how to stand on the street and campaign, and that was a very important lesson, one that came in handy over the years. I want to thank Joanna. Where's Joanna Saccone? Oh, there she is. Hi, Joanna. Joanna, the first time I met you in 2010, you scared the you-know-what out of me. Back then, you saw me as a threat to your client, and you came at me with the ferocity of a mother bear protecting her cub. Who would have predicted that a few years later, we would be working together? You came on board at a point when I had truly started to lose hope and give up on the belief that I could win. Your guidance restored my hope and gave me the strength to continue, and I am so grateful for your friendship. Thanks also to Jake Del Monte, Jerry Goldfeather, and Hazam Kamal. Jake's campaign literature is surely much of what brought us victory on election night. Jerry, your skilled legal advice and calm voice during stress points in the campaign was a source of comfort, and Hazam worked with us from the start of petitioning through election night and was a valued asset to the team. I'd like to thank those clubs that endorsed me, the Lenox Hill Democratic Club, brilliantly led by district leaders John Halabian and Jill Eisner. Thank you for your commitment to the panel process, for your support of my candidacy, which did not end with your endorsement, but continued through fundraisers, phone calls, and campaigning on the streets. Thanks also to Bob Mena, Gus Christensen, and Madeline and Jonathan Peel. A huge thank you to the Lexington Democratic Club for their endorsement, and to Merrill Brodsky, Larry Rosenstock, Corey Evans, Conrad Foa, Peter Barak, Darren Marks, Beth Schachter, and the one and only Trudy Mason. Thanks and congratulations also go to Susan Moss, who's newly elected district leader. I want to thank the Arturo Schoenberg Democratic Club, and a special shout out to Nina Saxon, Jason Cruz and his team, and Teresa Richardson. You guys did a fabulous job on the campaign in East Harlem. You have great spirit, and you gave me such a warm welcome. Nina, you were an early supporter, and I couldn't have asked for a better advocate or friend. Thank you also to the El Nuevo Caribe Democratic Club, Peggy Morales, Harry Rodriguez, and Raul Reyes. Peggy, congratulations on your election as state committee woman. You were great to work with, and the memory of canvassing in the projects door to door, meeting and greeting constituents of El Barrio in the summer heat is one that makes me smile and will stay with me. I want to thank District Leader Johnny Rivera. He was one of the first to endorse me in this race. He was a big part of the team early on, helping with petitioning, getting me out to meet the seniors, and even helping out with the photo shoot. So thank you, Johnny, for your friendship and support. Thanks to Victor Kovner, board member and former chair of the Fund for Modern Courts, for his endorsement of my candidacy and his work in implementing the panel system. I heard a rumor that Larry Kalick was going to be here. I don't know if Larry Kalick is here. Maybe it's Larry Kalick. I'm going to move on. I want to thank Louise Dankberg and Curtis Arluck. district leaders, and co-chairs of the New York County Democratic Committee's Judiciary Committee for their endorsement and their support and dedication to the judicial selection process. Thanks also to Steve Smallins, Jerry Kahn, Georgette Gittins, and Earl Scott, all early supporters, for their friendship and encouragement. I want to thank Elaine Schulman. Elaine, you are the political Jewish mother that every candidate needs. And more than once, you were mistaken for my mom as we campaigned together on the Upper East Side. Thank you also to Suzanne Jacobson and Ann Stahl. I want to thank Esther Yang, Frank Wilkinson, Joyce Simberg, Dave Menegon, Arlene Kayet, Jim Kleins, Eric Gray, and Nick Moyne. All of you gave me friendships, advice, and support on this road, and I really appreciate it. I want to thank my court family. I owe a big thank you to my staff. I'm pretty much all work and no play, and my all work, all the time attitude does not make me the most fun judge to work for, but you would never know it from my staff. If the relationship between judge and court attorney is like a marriage, I think it's fair to say I married well. My two court attorneys, Tara Zapp and Beth Fromm, in the front row there, beautiful, aren't they? They're both been phenomenal. Tara, you've been with me since my first year in Brooklyn. After nearly a decade together, you often know what I need before I can even ask for it. You help me run the courtroom in a seamless manner, and you command great respect from the bar. I can rely on you with confidence, and I'm so grateful that we will be embarking on this next step together. Beth, you joined our family about 6 years ago, and you were a perfect fit. Your vivacious nature and your passion for justice make you a pleasure to work with, and Tara and I are sad to be leaving without you, but I know that we are going to see great things from you in the years to come. To all the court officers, court clerks, and interpreters that I have worked with, thank you, and thank you. Thanks to Dennis Quirk, the New York State Court Officers Association, Pam Brown, and the New York State Court Clerks Association for endorsing me. The court clerks and court officers are so key to running a successful courtroom. The right staff can make all the difference, and I've been privileged to work with some of the best. From the lovely Monique Farrell, who banged me in tonight, and Oscar Goris, where's Oscar in the back? Oscar in the back, who both honor me by working here this evening. To my current clerk, Roberto Montalvo, it's been my pleasure to work with the best. A special thanks also to Serena Springle. Serena, you've been awesome. You made this night happen. She does a fabulous job every day making sure that this place runs, and I can't thank you enough. The lawyers, there are so many attorneys out there that I want to thank. I want to thank all of the lawyers who sat on the many committees and panels that interviewed me. The landlord-tenant bar, many of whom served as references on applications repeatedly over the years. You can't run a race without raising money, and so many helped in this regard by hosting events and gatherings. Thanks to Josh Irwin and the law firm of Block, O'Toole, and Murphy for their help with fundraising. Thanks to Ida Greer, Eli Samuels, Romana Reed, and Doreen Isley for their support and for getting my posters up throughout the East Side and Roosevelt Island. I want to thank all my former partners at Boer Goldstein, and particularly Bob Goldstein and Myron Altschuler for their support. Bob, about 11 years ago, you sat me down and tried to persuade me that a position on the board and not a judicial seat is what I should be aiming for. And while I decided to go the other way, you've always been supportive of my ambitions. Myron, thank you for serving as a reference on my applications year after year. I learned so much from you as a litigator. You were a true gentleman and a valued friend. Thanks also to Dave Cabrera, Mackley Beausejour, Jeff Nogi, and Eileen O'Toole for your help with the campaign photo shoot. I know I still owe you guys those photos, so I'm going to get you that. A huge thank you to my dear friend Joe Strasberg. Is Joe here? Joe, your friendship and support, thank you for it always, and for sharing your vast political knowledge with me. Joe taught me what was for me the most important lesson in politics, which was not to be afraid to run. So I thank him for his guidance and for all of his help in making this day a reality. I have so many judges to thank. And I want to start with my colleagues on the Housing Court bench. Can I ask all the Housing Court judges to please stand up and face the audience? Hardest working, most scrutinized, most politicized, under-resourced, underpaid, and underappreciated judges in the New York State court system. Please join me in giving them another round of applause. I can't thank my colleagues on the Housing Court bench enough. They gave me the opportunity to serve as their president for 4 glorious years. It was a challenge I wasn't quite sure I was up to, and it gave me the opportunity for professional growth. I will always have a very special place in my heart for Housing Court. I've spent the better part of the last 25 years inside this building, and I've learned so much from all of you. Thank you. I also want to take a moment to remember 2 colleagues that we lost too soon during my time on the Housing Court bench, the Honorable Oyman Chin and the late, great Jerry Klein. Jerry was one of our longest-serving Housing Court judges. He was a wise mentor, generous with his time, a valued friend, and a respected jurist, and I know that we all continue to feel their loss. Thanks to Fern Fisher for her kind words this evening, for her friendship, leadership, and devotion, especially to Housing Court. I want to thank my good friend, Matt Cooper. Where's Matt Cooper? Didn't he do a great job tonight as MC? Being my MC today and for making sure that the ceremony ran smoothly and for bringing an end to the era of dry inductions. You've been a great friend and an enthusiastic cheerleader, ready to celebrate every victory with me and help me overcome each setback, and I am so grateful for your friendship. Judge Marty Shulman and Judge Doug Hoffman, thank you both. For fielding phone call after phone call on my behalf. I can't even imagine how many times you got phone calls from the various panels or committees that I had to appear in front of. Your friendship and encouragement has meant a lot to me, and I really appreciate your help in getting here today. Thank you. The beautiful Judith Gish. Thank you, Judy. Where's Judy? Judy, thank you. Such a great honor for me to have you swear me in tonight. You've always been an inspiration to me and a model for me to follow. As a practitioner, I looked forward to appearing in your court. As a judge, I have looked to you for guidance. I could have no greater ambition than to emulate you as a judge. Your trajectory from Housing Court to the Appellate Division is clearly not at an end. Thank you for your encouragement, support, and friendship. To my BFFs on the bench, the judgettes, Ann Katz, Marion Doherty, Dawn Jimenez, and Arlene Hahn, and our beloved cohorts, Suzanne Strohs and Carol Kaplan. I love you guys. We have had such great times together, so many laughs. In my first few years in the bench, I sat in Brooklyn, Manhattan, and the Bronx. Each new assignment, one of you was in place to look over my shoulder and make sure everything was okay. My very own guardian angel in each county. And thank you for keeping our happy group together. Thank you for convincing me to keep applying to Housing Court. Marion, congratulations on your election to Civil Court. Newest Civil Court judge in Bronx County, Marion Doherty. We have shared so much love and laughter on our international adventures. The fact that we are both starting in civil court together is just a cherry on my sundae. To the Honorable George Silver, is George still here? George makes it look easy. He's a class act and a great friend. If the New York State courts had a sitcom, it would certainly be called Everybody Loves George. From our early days together at 141 Livingston Street through my campaign, George always had great advice and my best interests at heart. Andrea Maisley. Andrea. Every time I started to think that I must be crazy for running in a second contested primary race, I heard your voice in my head saying second time's the charm. Just knowing it had been done before was a big help. Thank you for your support and encouragement. Tony Canatero. You know it's a small world when your opponent in the 2011 primary is your new supervising judge when you get elected in 2016. For lesser gents, that could have been an awkward situation, but Tony, you have always been gracious with a warm and generous heart, down to the handwritten note you left me after my primary victory this year. Thank you. And to the Honorable James D. August, I see him in the back corner. James, you gave me a shoulder to cry on, and I needed it more than once, and I thank you. I thank you for your good advice and for your friendship. I wish I could really go one by one and thank every one of you for everything you've done to me and for me to help me reach this day. You all honor me with your presence here this evening, and I am grateful to all of you. I want to talk about the fact that I'm the first Iranian American elected to the bench in Manhattan. That we are now 3 strong on the bench as I join my friend Mojkin Lankman, elected in Queens County in 2014, and am joined by Odessa Kennedy, who was elected in Kings County this year. 3 Persian ladies on the New York City Civil Court bench. How's that for diversity? I received strong support from the Iranian American community. I'd like to thank my colleagues on the board of the Iranian American Bar Association. I'd like to thank PAIA, the Public Affairs Alliance of Iranian Americans, Murad Orban, and the Iranian American Women's Foundation for their support. But of all the people I need to give thanks to tonight, my family deserves the most thanks. Thank you to my fabulous cousins. You have supported me with gusto over the past 5 years, hosting fundraisers, campaigning on Election Day, and reaching out to voters. Thanks in particular to Hilbert and Jacqueline Essigpour, Robin Essigpour, Jerry Essigoff, and my cousin PJ standing in the back. Thank you to Rose Rogers. Rose and Larry are a part of the jury box that didn't get introduced, but also part of my family, and Rose was my treasurer. Rose, as treasurer, you had one of the most difficult and least liked positions in the campaign. I know if you never have to deal with the Board of Elections again, you'll be glad. But I want to thank you for taking on this important responsibility. Knowing that it was in your skilled hands meant that I could rest easy and concentrate on winning. Thank you. I'd like to introduce my brother and sister-in-law, Benjamin and Jenny Sitar. Could you please stand up? Ben, you were truly amazing. As soon as I told you I was running, you went into action, mobilizing attorneys to support me and organizing a successful event to kick off my campaign. Lucky for me, campaign season and ski season aren't at the same time. And Jenny, you were a champion petitioner and campaigner. I love you both. I'm so grateful for your help in making this day a reality. Thank you. I want to thank my 3 beautiful, talented kids, Corey, Jason, and Michaela. Michaela, you spoke so beautifully tonight, and with the poise that belies your age. At 11, you're a veteran of club functions, 2 political races, and your skills in street campaigning are second to none. Corey and Jason, you were both fantastic in this campaign. Jason spent most of June on the hot city streets petitioning for me. Corey was also out petitioning, calling voters, marching with me in the New York Pride Parade, and continuing on the work right through Election Day. I can't tell you how many constituents I met that told me that they were going to vote for me and knew that I would be a great judge because I had raised such fabulous kids. So proud of all 3 of you. I know it's not easy to have a mom who works full-time, let alone a political mom. And I know that means a lot of time away from the three of you, which is hard on all of us. But you've always encouraged me and supported me, and you are my greatest blessings in life. I'd like to introduce my parents, Abby and Jacqueline Sitar. As Bubba and Granny, you've both been so instrumental in making this day happen. Since I was first appointed to Housing Court, you've always encouraged me to pursue my dream of being elected to Civil Court, and you've done everything possible to make that dream happen. You spent Election Day in 2011 on the streets urging voters to choose your daughter. And honestly, when I decided to run again last spring, I was a little afraid to tell you. I thought you might try and dissuade me from entering another contested race, but I couldn't have been more wrong. Thank you for your love and support always. I would not be standing here without you behind me. And that leaves Craig. Ladies and gentlemen, my husband, Craig Kraus. Describe you as the best man on the planet, and this is not an exaggeration. You have the most generous, giving spirit of anyone I have ever met. This never really felt like my campaign. In fact, it was our campaign. Every crisis I faced, you saw me through. Every event I had to attend, you were by my side. If I couldn't be at an event, you went for me. Every application I submitted and interview I went through, you were there. You're better known and even better loved on the political circuit than I am. It is truly a miracle that you are still sane and still willing to put up with me after all I have put you through these past years. You are a rock for our entire family, and I can't even imagine taking on these challenges without you. I am the luckiest woman on the planet to have you as my husband and the father of my children. Thank you. Thank you doesn't even begin to cover it. This day belongs to you as much as it does to me. I love you, and I am so grateful to have you in my life. Socrates famously stated, 4 things belong to a judge: to hear courteously, to answer wisely, to consider soberly, and to decide impartially. In my 10 years on the bench, I have served with these ideals in mind, and I pledge to continue to do so as I face new challenges in family court, criminal court, and wherever I may be called upon to serve. I am blessed to be in a profession that I love and with work in which I find meaning. I want to thank each and every one of you for your part in bestowing that blessing on me. That said, Bubba and Granny would like to invite you downstairs for some kebab. So let's eat, drink, and be merry, or as my people say, Nusha John. Thank you.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
It was a wonderful ceremony.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Now you're gonna have to teach me what to do. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. That's fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations again. Thanks. Thank you.
Congratulations again.
Thank you again. You're next. Thank you. Yes. You've been so beautiful and thank you.
All the way from Staten Island. Not bad. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here.
How you been?
Great speech.
Thank
I'm so proud of you. You know that. You know, it was one of the first things to vote. Should be shunned as absentee ballot.
Oh, really?
Exactly.
That's
Yes,
awesome.
it was.
That's so sweet of you. I'm telling you, I did hear it in my head the whole time. The second time. I know what happened. I got
congratulations, and as you move from housing court to civil court, and wherever you may go after that, always remember, do the right thing, and the reason you're here in the court system is to do justice.
Sabrina, I know how hard it is to run several races. As you know, I did it too. Congratulations for persevering, and we welcome you to the family of civil court judges.
Sabrina, congratulations. We know you've been a great judge, and you'll be a great judge in the future. We're here for you.
Congratulations, Judge Kraus. Ever since we met in Harlem, I knew you were going to make it to where you want to be. I know it's just the first stop. Congratulations. We love you. We're going to miss you. And thank you for the kind words.
Ms. Kraus, I'm a Health Kitchen resident. I was before you once. I was admiring of your judicial conduct, your behavior, and how your vast knowledge. I was really impressed by you. And I was really happy that as a super volunteer for the Jim McManus organization, I was invited to come to your induction. Congratulations many, many times. You deserve it. Thank you.
Congratulations, Sabrina. I'm so happy for you. I'm really proud that you made it to this day. May all your dreams come true. You'll be an awesome civil court judge.
Hi, Sabrina, and the entire Kraus family. I want to wish you guys a hearty congratulations. It is so well deserved, and I can't wait to hear such great things about you and from you in the future.
Congratulations. To my dearest cousin Sabrina, today was a very special day. I'm very proud of you as you were accepting your honor. Our childhood was flashing in front of my eyes, and I felt so proud and so humbled to have been a part of this journey with you. I wish you luck, success, good health, good fortune. I love you very much. I'm very proud of you, and I can't wait to see what the next chapter is going to bring in your life.
To Sabrina Kraus, may all of your appeals be affirmances. May all of your smiles be winning. And may life be good to you and in health for always.
Hey Sabrina, you can't imagine how proud I am. And I am taking credit for everything here. And all I can say is when your friend talked about the Madonna years, I thought of the Furman. You'll know what I mean. A lot of water under the bridge. I'm so proud of you. This is fantastic. And I'm looking forward to bigger and better things for you. Great job.
Sabrina, I just want to congratulate you. No one's more deserving. You were a wonderful housing court judge. I know you're going to be a great civil court judge. And I know I'll be reading your opinions in the Law Journal very shortly.
Thank you for giving me a shout out today. Mazel tov, it's well deserved. You will be an outstanding civil court judge as you were an outstanding housing court judge. Go from strength to strength. We love you. Bye.
All right. Hey, good evening. Judge Kraus, you're amazing. Your people here love you. They came out to support you, and they're happy to see you achieve something real. It's important to us that you did this. Anyway, I'd also like to say you have about 5 or 6 animal decisions, and as an animal lawyer and animal law professor, I'm grateful for your rulings in those cases. The critters thank you. Anyway, much success.
Judge Kraus, I'm going to miss you very much. I'm going to miss the clicking of your heels coming down the hallway. I want to wish you a lot of luck. We're really going to miss you here at 111 Center Street. Bye.
3. Congrats! And finally! Finally!
Hi, Sabrina. We're so proud of you. The minute I met you, you told me your goals. And I wouldn't have missed this for the world, although I was threatened, but I love you. I'm proud of you. You're unbelievable.
Congratulations. I think they need a replacement on the Supreme Court, so I hope to see you there soon.
You're my BFF.
Sabrina, I congratulate you from the bottom of my heart. You were very gracious, and persistence paid off. So congratulations again.
Hi, Sabrina. You know, we sat together the first time in our first judicial convention, and we promised each other we were going to learn the ropes, and I see that we did. Congratulations. Love you.
Hi, Sabrina. On behalf of the Iranian American community, we are so proud of you. I wouldn't have missed this. I barely know you, but now I want to get to know you more. Thank you so much for inspiring all of us. Thank you.
Hey, Sabrina, it's Jonathan Peel and Madeline. We're here at your lovely party and celebrating your wonderful
wonderful launch of your next 14 years on the bench. We're so delighted to have your talent and vivacity involved in our judicial system. So lots of love and many thanks.
Sabrina, congratulations. You know I love you. And I have to say, it's about fucking time.
Hi, I'm Diana Campbell. Sabrina Kraus, Judge Sabrina Kraus, she's the greatest. Her husband the greatest, her family's the greatest, and congratulations to a great judge in this city. And I met a lot, and so she is really awesome. Congratulations, Sabrina, Judge Sabrina Kraus.
So Sabrina, I saw your perseverance. I saw all that you did. I know what it's like to have a spouse who you barely see. So just congratulations. You've been a great housing court judge. You'll be a great civil court judge. I look forward to working with you as a colleague, and just all the best wishes. You have an amazing family, and all the best. Congratulations.
Sabrina, this is a great night for you, and congratulations. And I remember when we were office buddies and you were first going for housing court, and it's been a long road to get here, and you did it, you persevered, and I was happy to vote for you, frankly, and see you as a civil court judge. You'll be great.
Sabrina, congratulations on a wonderful, wonderful achievement. May you have many more years of achieving your goals and all your ambitions, and doing the best you can, because you're the one who can do it.
Sabrina, this is a wonderful evening for you, but a wonderful evening for me, because I've known you for so many years, and I love you. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations.
Justice Deborah James here. Sabrina, our newest civil court judge. Kraus, congratulations. Enjoy your time on the civil court, and at some point, I'm certain you will join me at the next trial level, the Supreme Court. So enjoy, and this was a wonderful ceremony. Your family is wonderful. Congratulations.
So excited that she finally made it, and we want to just congratulate her for a job well done, and we're sure that she will be a great civil court judge.
My best to you, Sabrina. John Stanley from Housing Court.
And Joan Barenbaum from DC 37.
We worked together for many years. She was a fantastic president of our association, and I really respect you very much, Sabrina.
Hey Sabrina, it's Gary. I am so happy for you. This is really great, and I'm really glad to be here, but mainly I'm happy for you.
Hi, congratulations. I am Maria Castro, a judicial delegate for the McManus Democratic Association. I want to wish and congratulate Sabrina on her amazing accomplishments. I've learned today something I did not know about Judge Kraus, and I want to wish her the very, very best and for her to continue her stellar career.
Congratulations, Wildflower. I wish we were in Lily celebrating.
Congratulations, Sabrina. I'm so happy you were able to attain this great goal, and I know you're going to be a great civil court judge. Congratulations.
I want to thank all the people who were involved in the creation of this happening, and I'm really blessed to be where I am today. Thank you.